Morning everyone, it's continuing my series of blurbs and beginnings of my novels and my stories. This one is the turn of Carruthers Doesn't Get Married, and I really love that cover, it's fantastic. I was so pleased I found it. Anyway, this is a laugh out loud romance about not getting married. It's short but sweet. Here's the blurb. Carruthers is preparing for her wedding day when her fiancé Brian rings her to say that the wedding is off. As an unhappy and furious Kat tries to come to terms with this shock news, there's a knock on the door, and it's the boiler man, Mike, come to service the boiler a full month early. When Kat's mother rings to say Brian has arrived at the church, got into a fight and the police have been called, Kat is faced with several interesting choices. What in the end will she decide? That's the blurb, and here's the start of it. Yes, she looked pretty damn good. Kat smiled and turned away from the mirror. She didn't need to spend any longer admiring herself. Her hairdresser had done the best she could. Kat herself had coped with the concept of makeup for once. And as for the dress, well, the dress was perfect. She stood for a moment and smoothed it over her hips. It was ivory Dupion silk, 3/4 length and with a scoop neckline and roses dotted onto the sleeves and hem. Simple, but she loved it. Really, everything was near perfect. All she needed was a groom and everything would be totally wonderful. And in 1 hour's time, which by now was 59 minutes and 20 seconds, though of course she wasn't counting, she and Brian would be man and wife. She simply couldn't wait. A knock on the door made her jump. "Come in," she called out. "No need to stand on ceremony here." Almost before she'd finished speaking, the door was flung open, and Kat saw her best friend and bridesmaid, Lizzie, standing on the threshold, holding a mobile phone stretched out as if it might poison her. She looked stunning in an off-the-shoulder russet dress with a single flower decoration at the side of the waist. It went beautifully with her blonde hair. Kat smiled. Lizzie didn't smile back. This was unusual, as was the fact her best friend hadn't come bounding in, fizzing with enthusiasm and talking about everything and nothing. Kat's welcoming smile melted away. "What's wrong? Catering crisis? The nephews have escaped and their suits are ruined? Tell all, I know you want to." Lizzie shook her head. Kat's smile vanished entirely. "Brian's on the phone," Lizzie said. "He wants to speak to you, now." That's the beginning of Carruthers Doesn't Get Married, and I hope you enjoyed the read and have a good week. Bye.